At 9 o'clock this morning, the RCMP and P.E.I. received a call from the RCMP in Ottawa advising that they had received a threat in Ottawa by fax against the schools in Prince Edward Island. This was received by fax. The fax was forwarded to the RCMP in Prince Edward Island. This fax indicated that a bomb had been placed in a number of schools in Prince Edward Island. It didn't specify which schools. It did state that the bomb would be detonated. At that time, we put our emergency plans into effect. We advised representatives of the 3 other municipal police forces and also advised the RCMP district commanders across Prince Edward Island and contacted the school boards in Prince Edward Island. As a result, police officers have attended all of the schools in Prince Edward Island. To my knowledge, there's been no injuries. There was no threat found. We're also aware that there's been similar threats received at schools and campuses in Nova Scotia and other jurisdictions. And one of the things we're following up at this time is whether or not those threats are related to this one. At this point, we don't know who is responsible for these threats, but there's an active investigation to identify the person or persons responsible. Does anybody have any questions?
And has this ever happened in the history of P.E.I. before?
Not to my knowledge. I don't recall such a threat against all the schools in Prince Edward Island.
Were bomb squads or extra personnel brought into the schools to check for bombs?
Police personnel did attend every school in Prince Edward Island to my knowledge, but there were no bomb personnel that attended the schools. To my knowledge, there was nothing suspicious or no threat located at any of the schools.
Mm-hmm. Were dogs brought in?
No, they were not.
Was there a time where they said that the bombs would be detonated?
No, there was not. The message stated that the bombs had been placed in a number of schools and would be detonated today, but it did not specify the time.
And how do you evaluate it in terms of taking this type of action?
These type of threats are very hard to evaluate as far as credibility. I think generally we like to err on the side of caution. The safety of our students and school staff are, I think, everybody's primary concern, and then as a follow-up to try to identify the persons responsible, because this disrupts a lot of lives both in the schools and with parents and guardians. So I'm sorry, what was the question?
Just how you evaluate a threat, whether you take this action or not.
I think in evaluating threats, we've got to err on the side of caution, and then in consultation with our partners, with the school board and that sort of thing, to determine what's the best course of action to take.
Mm-hmm.
How much time went by between the time that you received the threat and the time that all the schools were evacuated on the island?
I don't have the exact time frame. Within 10 minutes of us receiving the threat, we had reached out and made contact with the school board in Prince Edward Island.
And you had said that the RCMP in Ottawa had notified you that this was also affecting some schools and colleges in Nova Scotia. Was that today as well, or was that previously?
Yes, we are aware that there have been some similar threats made to schools and colleges in Nova Scotia, and also I believe in at least one school in the United States.
What's your message to parents right now?
Message to parents is to stay calm. Make sure, as far as we know, I want to let everybody know that there's been no injuries, there's been no threat found, everybody is safe, and that I think both the police and the school, I can't speak for the school board, but I think we all take these threats very seriously.
Mm-hmm. And of course, families know that kids in schools have gone through lockdown procedures and that sort of protocol. Kids have kind of been trained to, and staff have been trained to deal with that. Do you think that has helped the situation?
I think it's definitely helped over the past few years, mainly due to the things that have happened in other parts of the world. I think schools and the police have stepped up their training and put plans in place to assist when incidents like this occur.
In terms of how did the evacuations go?
As far as I'm aware, the evacuations went very well. There was no injuries. I think there was some confusion in some areas as far as exactly where the safe place to go was and where children were to be picked up. But that's something, when something like this happens, certainly we want to apprehend the person responsible, but I think we'll all look at maybe what we could do better the next time and what we could learn from this type of thing.
Have any arrests been made yet?
No, there have not been any arrests, and to my knowledge, there hasn't been a suspect identified.
Just to clarify, Staff Sergeant Bailey, so you're saying that all schools, every part of every school across the province, and Holland College and UPEI have all been searched, and nothing has turned up?
Well, to my knowledge, all the schools have been evacuated, and our recommendation is that the schools, that staff know the schools better than anybody, that staff go through every area of the school, and we want to know if they've noted anything suspicious or out of the ordinary over the past few days. And then as they go through the school, are there any specific suspicious packages or anything else that seems out of place in the school? And if that's the case, they should call the RCMP, and at that point we'd likely look at bringing in bomb disposal people.
So just to clarify again, you haven't received word that every school has been, a search has been completed on every school?
No, I can't confirm at this time that every school has been searched, but certainly that's what we're recommending.
So you're leaving it up to school staff to notify you of any potential threats?
That's correct. The school staff generally know the schools better than officers, and much more likely to notice something out of place or out of the ordinary. So officers have gone to every school and consulted with staff, but we're asking the staff to check the schools and see if they note anything out of place or suspicious.
Why wouldn't you bring, bomb dogs or, some kind of specialist to come in and make sure that the situation is safe?
Given the 45 plus schools on the island, the size of UPI and some of these other campuses, it would literally take weeks for even probably 2 or 3 dogs to go through every inch of every school.
Is that what has to happen, though, in order for parents and teachers, staff, students to be assured that the schools are safe?
I think if a search is done of the school by the staff and there's nothing out of the ordinary noted, given the nature of the threat, there's it was very specific. I would feel safe for my child to go back to school if the school was checked and nothing suspicious was located.
Specific how was the threat?
What do you mean?
Specific, they gave details of when, where, how, what was in the schools?
Well, the threat indicated that a bomb had been placed in the school that would detonate today. And, basically is go through the school and see anything suspicious. Is there any packages left? That sort of thing. And there's nothing suspicious noted in the school, that then like I said, I would feel safe going back in there.
Did it give the name of the school?
No, it did not. The threat indicated that there was a bomb had been placed in a number of schools, but it wasn't specific to what area of the island, what type of school, whether primary, high school, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, will you rule this threat to be, not real, or at what point do you come to that conclusion, or how do you come to a ruling on the threat?
I think if we check all the schools and nothing suspicious is found, and given the nature of the threat, if nothing is found, then I'm satisfied. I'll be satisfied that the actual threat was a hoax.
What do you mean exactly by given the nature of the threat? Does that mean it's not not serious, or?
Well, I don't want to get into the specifics of the threat, but at this point we're investigating whether it's linked to multiple schools across multiple jurisdictions, and certainly if in fact they are linked, then it would appear that maybe one or more individuals are sending out these kind of a blanket message to cause havoc in the schools.
And police are tracing the fax number it came from, obviously.
That we are conducting an investigation, certainly using all measures available to try to identify the person responsible for this.
But the threat initially went to the RCMP in Ottawa?
That is correct, yes. Now I think
So,